Hi, welcome to another episode of Drew's Brews Reviews. I should be coming to you nice and clear now because I actually am mic'd up. Another thing that I want to note here, be sure to check out drewsbrewsreviews.com. That is where I have written reviews, video reviews. I also recently went to Tired Hands, talked about my visit and the beers that I had there, so be sure to check that out on the website. Now, what I have today is a lovely beer here from Lost Abbey. It is their Agave Maria. Agave Maria is actually a takeoff on Ave Maria, a song written by Charles Francois Gounod, who put that over top of Bach's Prelude No. 1 in C major and kind of did an old school, very old school mashup. The reason this is called Agave Maria is because they use agave syrup from agave fruit to sweeten this. Now, agave syrup is much sweeter than regular sugar, so the idea is you don't use quite as much in what you're making, and it's also got a little bit more of an earthy sweetness that it grants to it. Actually have a little agave syrup here in a jar. It's a little thick, it's not too syrupy. As a matter of fact, it's not like heavier syrup, and this is kind of a lighter, almost tequila colored type syrup. Now, why that matters is this beer is also aged in tequila barrels. So they use añejo and reposado barrels to age this for 10 months and then blend them together. Now, añejo tequila barrels are barrels that hold tequila for about 1 to 3 years. So they have a little bit more maturity to it than the reposado barrels, which actually age the tequila from 2 months to 1 year. So it's a young and an older, then blended together and aged for 10 months total. So there you go, a little bit of math for you. Now, this one is a bit of a booze beast. So yeah, it's got a lot of, just like Paul Stanley said, this is a 13.5% beer, so mega heavy on the ABV. We'll see just how alcoholic this beer really is when it comes to tasting it. Now, obviously, before we taste it, there's a few things to cover. The ABV, as I mentioned for this, is 13.5%. The cost for it is $19, so definitely on the expensive side for what is a 12.7 fluid ounce beer. Serving temperature, I would say probably around 55 degrees for this, and they actually plan on making this an annual release around spring. This one came out in April. All right, well, so with that information out of the way, let's go ahead and give this one a pour and see what it looks like. As you can see, this is a fairly dark beer. For American strong ales, they're usually just a bit lighter than this, but this definitely has a dark, kind of brown, syrupy look to it, with just a hint of kind of an amber, auburn. Not much of a head on it, pretty slick, coats the glass pretty well. All right, so we got this one poured out. Let's go ahead and give it a smell. All right, there's definitely some alcohol undertone, some warmth even in the aroma here. It's a bit of a bruiser, some sugar there, but it's more of an earthy sugar, like the nectar of the agave syrup that is being used in here really comes through. Real wood oak quality to this, like a cactusy aloe kind of aroma to it. This is like from the earth kind of smell to it, with some nice sugars and kind of pretty nice aroma, very different, not like anything that I've really smelled before. So go ahead and give this a taste. Man, yeah, it does follow the aroma a bit. There's actually quite a bit more bitterness in this than I was anticipating. Aloe-y, earthy front to it, nice citrus tang that happens right through to this kind of brown sugar, darker sugar qualities to it, real warm finish, citrusy tang. I mean, there is the tequila, you definitely get a distinct spiciness from the tequila, and that real earthy quality I think really mixes well with the agave syrup that's in here. And I think anything more, this is a beer of balance, that if any of these elements went a little too far or were a little too intense, the whole thing I think would fall apart. This is a decent balancing act that Lost Abbey's been able to pull off, because I've had some tequila barrel aged beers that I truly dislike, very much dislike. When I come across one that ages a beer with a little bit more finesse, a little bit more subtlety, with a way that integrates the tequila to make it really a part of the beer. This does something quite a bit different. Good beer, great for the adventurous craft beer drinker. The overall intensity, I think, makes this for enthusiasts only, especially when you factor in the price of $19. This isn't like, oh, let me just give it a try and see, oh, I don't really like it, you know, I'll just give it to somebody else, or, you know, have it at a party. I guess might be the best way to do it if you just want to sample it. I might get another bottle of it to age it just to see what's going to happen to this. I think this beer would age fairly well, but I think the sugar is going to start creeping up pretty fast on it. So I wouldn't really age it more than a couple years. Well done, Lost Abbey. Way to just blend this, you know, just about perfectly, and you pulled off something pretty great here. So for Drew's Brew Reviews and Lost Abbey's Agave Maria, I say cheers. Oh.
Go to drewsbrewsreviews.com for more video and written beer reviews. Follow me on Twitter at DrewBrewReviews, leave off the first two S's for savings, and you can friend Drew's Brews Reviews on Untappd.